This is a picture of nice. And by nice, I mean Johnny Cotton's number 3. I have been reviewing mostly the John Cottons lately because they've got a few blends out there now. I've got number 1, number 1 and 2, Sweet English, Smyrna, and of course number 3. This is my first try of John Cotton's number 3. And to give you an idea of what it's about, boy, made of Virginia, Orientals, Latakia, and Perique. That it is, I suppose. When you open up that tin right there, if you've smelled the other John Cottons, you know that they've got individual characters, each one. This one may not be as unique as the others, but it is very, very nice. This is a very classic English right here. You might even call it a Balkan. It's got that sort of, I don't know, Oriental, Asian, whatever you want to call it, overtone on it. But it is a very rich Latakia mix. This tin note here instantly reminded me of very classic Englishes with some strength to them. Not unlike Nightcap. Well, Nightcap with a shine on it. And, you know, My Mixture 965 from Dunhill. Good old Camoys number 11. I talk about them a lot because they are very Latakia-rich, flavorful blends. And this one, you could kind of consider as a, I don't know, little brother to those. Its flavor is very comparable, except that it's a little bit more oriental-forward, I think. You pick up that sort of, you pick up that herbal something much more than you do in those other blends that I just mentioned. And it is reminiscent of Boswell's to me. The tin note of this John Cotton instantly reminded me of Boswell's Northwoods. If you've ever had Boswell's Northwoods, it is a creamy, smoky, and strong Latakia experience. Not so much the strength, but the scent itself of John Cotton's number 3 is very reminiscent of Boswell's Northwoods. And the way I would categorize this is, sometimes I find Northwoods to be just a bit more than I need at the moment. John Cotton's will give me that same flavor with a little less strength, and not a lot less. It's probably about 3/4 of Northwood strength-wise. It probably has a slightly drier overtone, where strong tobaccos tend to have a certain creaminess to them, especially if they have a little touch of Cavendish in them or whatever, which I don't think this one does. But strong ones tend to billow a lot of smoke. You don't know if there's a burley in it or whatever, but the stuff that gives it the white smoke tends to make it creamy. Shows you how ignorant I am. I don't know what exact ingredients will do that. This is a little bit drier than it is creamy. It is the same flavor, as I say, but you don't get that thick, rich creaminess, but you do get a nice flavor that is actually kind of light. The taste itself is strong and prominent, but the strength overall is not so much. You won't be overcome by anything in John Cotton's number 3. You can taste in each individual component that's in there. You can. The Perique is not real strong, but it's there. It's just enough to give it that little bit of sting. But I taste the Orientals on top of the Latakia more than anything else. The Virginia definitely makes it a little bit sweet. It does have sweetness in it, just like the other blends that I mentioned will have. The Nightcap, My Mixture 965, Camoys 11, Northwoods, Boswell Railroad Station is like that. Countryside's a little bit like that. But of all the John Cottons, I find this one to be the most like the stronger Latakia rich, very popular ones without all of the attitude. So if you want a light reminiscence of something like that, and you don't necessarily need a gigantic nicotine bomb or flavor overload, which is nice sometimes, but this one doesn't give you that. This is a lighter version of that, but it definitely has its place. I will keep this handy for when I want to smoke but don't want to be overcome. I don't want to have a nicotine high for 2 hours. This is something nice when you don't want to get bogged down by a nice nicotine high. If I wanted a smoky flavor with some orientals on top of it, I would probably hit John Cotton's number 3. I have said enough about it. I've gone way over my time limit, and I'm going to recommend John Cotton's number 3 to the Latakia and Oriental lover. There's a little touch of Virginia in there to give it that hay note, and it is pretty damn nice. Give it a shot. Don't oversmoke, but enjoy it no matter what you're smoking. And I will be back in your face before you know it.